Yo, 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 everybody! What's going on? Welcome to episode 69 of ChanmanV's Pro Corner, where pros come and show us how it's done. I'm your host, ChanmanV, and how's everybody doing tonight? Lots of good stuff happening around StarCraft right now. I know some WCS is on right now, and some NASL, good, all that good stuff. But appreciate you guys switching over and watching, watching our show over here. Tonight we got a really cool Zerg show for all you Zergs out there. We've got JEcho, who's been here a few times already, Pro Corner. He's had a few good shows, I think, with us, and always very articulate and great about talking strategy. And joining him tonight is a first timer. We actually have QuanticSpanishiwa on to join him, and really excited because I've been trying to get Mike Spanishiwa on for a while now, and I think mixing these two together, I think it's going to be really good, because both of these guys are very good about explaining things, and are both thinkers when it comes to really mapping out strategy and that type of thing. So having these two guys kind of collaborate and work together in this in this session that we're going to be doing will be great. And so what are we going to be doing? We're going to be going over replays. Each of them brought 2 to 3 replays each, and unlike some of the other shows that we've done where we've gone over the replays, this one's going to be more about them helping each other. And so we've actually have some replays of losses, which is pretty rare on our show. But Spanishiwa actually brought a couple ZVT losses, where there's definitely going to be some points that he'd like to ask JEcho, and vice versa on some of JEcho's ZVP replays. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit different tonight, and hopefully it'll be even more productive, I guess, with this type of change. And so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Before bringing them on, which I'll bring on in just a second so we can start chatting with them a little bit, I wanted to point out that we're doing our weekly Razor giveaway today, and we are giving away this bad boy, this Abyssus mouse, Razer Abyssus mouse. Always a big thanks to Razer for supporting the show and providing such awesome gaming content for you guys. But we're going to be giving this away at the end of the show, and the way you enter it is you follow me on Twitter and tweet me, or you like me on Facebook and Facebook message me. Basically, a good nickname for either Spanishiwa or JEcho. And when I say nicknames, I mean things like Obamatas or like Idris the Kraken, those type of things that maybe they could use, maybe their teams could kind of grab and use in marketing campaigns and that kind of thing. So that's really the the reasoning behind it, and plus it's always fun, to have you guys be a little creative and come up with some good stuff. At the end, we'll have these guys kind of pick which one they think is a favorite, and you guys will be the win, or that person will be the winner of this awesome mouse. So, all right, let's get these guys on. Switch over here. 1 second. Mike, Joe, you there?
Hey, yeah.
Hey guys, JEcho and QuanticSpanishiwa here. All right, so I was just letting everybody know what we're going to be doing tonight, and it's pretty excited given that it's going to be. Uh-oh, they're saying it's a little too loud. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I think I'm a little bit too close to the mic. I'm a little closer than I normally am, so I'll back up a little bit. But yeah, guys, I just kind of I was letting them know what we're going to be doing tonight, and before we started, I kind of wanted to chat with you guys and see what you guys have been up to. I know you guys are kind of doing a little different things, given JEcho, you just leaving Infinity 7, and I know a team's up on the just about probably going to be announced any day now. But how's that going for you, Ray?
Yeah, this past week I haven't actually been playing all that much. I was streaming pretty heavily before that, but they're kind of doing whatever they're doing. I don't really ask. I'm just waiting for them to tell me to tell everyone else, and so.
Well, they're getting all the confetti and everything ready, man.
Yeah, yeah.
All the PR and all all the press releases ready, I'm sure. So
yeah.
So that's probably any day now, right?
I'm thinking it should be. I thought it was going to be any day now 2 weeks ago. So
wow.
Really, I'm just thinking that it should be sometime before September.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of your fans are really excited to find out, and I think a lot of them are assured, or maybe you let folks know already that you're, I guess, already found a team. It's just can't be announced yet, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Cool. I'm not quitting. It is the main thing.
Yeah. A lot of people misinterpreted that quote, so it was I know a lot of folks were even asking me, and I just I cleared it up for you, and letting them know that no, he's still playing. It's not like he's going back. Everybody thought you were going back to school and quitting StarCraft.
Oh
so,
no,
yeah.
no.
but yeah, QuanticSpanishiwa, I know you just moved into the Quantic house, right?
Yeah, I just Quantic team house in SoCal, Oceanside.
Awesome. So how long do you think how long do you plan on being there?
I think the plan is that they flew everybody out here to practice for MLP Raleigh, and then after we win the whole thing, we'll just probably head back.
Awesome. Okay,
Not actually, we're gonna get dominated by Koreans, but.
Hey, now come on, man. But okay, so it's more like just until Raleigh, and then we'll see what happens, kind of thing. Oh, hello.
Sorry, what was that? I missed that last.
It's just mostly up until Raleigh, and then kind of see what happens after that.
Yeah. At least for me, because I have school, I'm planning to head back after Raleigh.
Okay.
And, I think that's the plan for most of the people here.
Okay, great. So as for playing recently, what matchups have you guys been really focused on, or maybe struggling with, or just kicking ass in?
I've been right now really focused on ZVZ and ZVP. ZVT was my best matchup before the Queen buff, so after that they just kind of like every turn
easy
sucks
peasy.
Really bad.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. I've been having trouble with ZVT and a bit of late game ZVP, but ZVZ, while it might not be the best, at least I know exactly what it is. At least I feel like I should be doing. So if I die, it's just because of a scouting error or something like that. So at least have good direction there.
Okay. Well, yeah. Again, guys, what we're going to be doing is we're going to, we'll be framing the show around replay analysis. So, we'll take turns with these two. Well, actually, we'll go through QuanticSpanishiwa's replays first, because there's ZVT, and then we'll switch over to JEcho's ZVP replays. And again, we'll use the replays as really a discussion point for them to, to kind of exchange ideas and maybe ask advice from each other. But yeah, why don't we just get started, because we got 4 replays here. Kind of load up the game here. Oh, actually, you know what? I didn't even. Do you guys have cameras or not? Jeez, I didn't even load up cameras today. Jeez.
I do.
I do.
Man, like, not on the ball today. Jeez. Okay, so I'll do these cameras real quick here.
So do we just turn it on? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just turn on the video there. Sorry guys, get to see all the production things I usually do before the show here. But it's all good, right? I know you guys want to see these guys, so it's worth it. Oh, the size of these things are going to change in a second? No? That should be fine. And JEcho, are you at home right now, or?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. You're at school or team house or something like that. Who's in the background there?
That's Garrett, the Quantic Draco, I believe. I don't know if you guys know him.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he just hangs around the Quantic house, helps us get motivated and pump us up.
Sounds like a coach.
Oh yeah, manager as well.
Manager. He doesn't want to call you a. He's the not fanboy, but that's cool. Manager. Somebody's sitting on the ground here. All right, cool. All right, let's switch over to StarCraft here. I'll probably do the cameras too while we load up. And which one do you want to start with, Spanishiwa? You want to start with Daybreak or Cloud Kingdom?
We'll go with Cloud Kingdom because this was the first game, so we'll just see how I tried to fix it in the second game. And
okay, yeah, that'd be good. Good kind of progression there. And these games are from just like earlier tonight, right?
Yeah, it was actually just a few minutes ago.
Good. Okay, why don't we go to 2 minutes here? I'm still setting up the cameras. Give me a second. We'll go to 2 minutes and then actually probably go to 3 minutes. Nothing happens in 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, ZVT just kind of build drones.
Yep, drone. There we go. All right, got the cameras ready. Okay, now we're set. Sorry about that, guys. Totally forgot about that. But again, I'm sure you guys want to see their cams. So, okay, and this is against Complexity's TriMaster. Little Josh.
This is the real TriMaster, by the way. It's not like a faker.
Oh, is there actually a fake TriMaster out there? I didn't know there was.
I don't know, but I mean, pretty big name. You definitely want to.
Yeah.
Sure see.
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised the real TriMaster, I guess, is in barcodes, like most of them are these days. All right. Okay, let me know when you guys are ready.
Yeah. What speed are we playing it on?
Just the faster.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and Spanishiwa, like, as the replay is going, why don't you just talk through it a little bit, like you know, what build you're doing, and it's like 15 hatch, 15 cool probably.
So I don't drone scout ZVT. I just send out my 17th drone after spawning pool to see if a second SCV or like Marines are heading down, and then usually you can tell if it's a 2-Rex or not. So that's why I kind of save larva before the spawning pool is done. I didn't do it this game because my overlord saw the command center.
Okay.
Definitely don't copy my second overlord. I like send it across the middle of the map. But I don't know. This was like I had played like 6 hours before this, so I was just pretty tired. So what I try to do in ZVT is go for that fast third base that people are doing. How to get there exactly is a little tough for me because I don't know like gas timings or when you should get to the third base optimally. But just from my ZVZ and ZVP matchups, it just seems to make sense that you'd want to get 2 queens before the third base because you get more income. But I don't know if that's actually right or not. I've heard that three hatch before queen is better, but we'll see. So I did. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I've seen. I went straight to GomTV to look what DRG and ST were doing, and they either do 3 hatch before pool, or the 3rd hatch after the 3rd and the 4th queen are started. I think it's because if Terran go 1-rack CC, they can actually just walk across the map with their first 2, 3 Marines and an SCV, and you won't really be able to protect this hatchery because your creep just isn't there ever. So if they want to stop you with a bunker especially on a map like this where they can put it behind that mineral line, it's pretty annoying.
I see.
Okay, so after all the queens, wow, okay.
Yeah, because then your third and fourth queen can actually they basically just go walking if they want to, because you've got the other queens already at home
right.
for injects.
To go 3 hatch before pool, would you need a drone scout with that, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's supposed to be a reaction to a CC first.
CC first, I see.
Yeah.
Alright, I just took the basic frame of the build order from Sen's archives on Twitch, so his builds seem a little outdated, but still definitely viable.
Okay, so that's what, double gas at 46? Was it 46?
45 to 50, somewhere between 45 and 50, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about the 2 spines here. Or 4 spines, actually. Okay.
Yeah, normally, I had heard by going fast third build, you need to get 2 spines and then an additional 2 in the mineral line in case they do a run by. So I just kind of built 2 spines when I saw the Hellions. I really have no idea if this is good or not. I'm pretty sure it gimps me economically, but I ended up building it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think what I usually do is I only build 1 spine, because if you move up to 6 queens, then you can actually just keep 1 in the main, 1 in the natural, and then use the other 4 to make sure that the other 4 kind of work like a spine crawler. He can't attack your third because they stand there, and if he tries to run into the natural, then the way you SimCity it with your evolution chambers, it only takes 4 Zerglings to punish him if he attempts to run by.
Okay. Yeah, I normally do go up to 6 queen. This game I was trying the spine crawler thing, so I wasn't able to afford it, but the 6 queen does sound like a stronger opening. When do you get the 5th and 6th queen?
My 5th and 6th queen, I go after the 3rd and 4th queen pop. I start the 5th queen out of the natural, and then when that queen finishes, the 6th queen out of the natural. So they don't come out that fast. I have seen people that pop them out of the main and the natural, but I don't think you need them that fast, really.
When do you get your 3rd base in the CVT?
It's about 36 supply. So as soon as you start the 3rd and 4th queen, you just want to send a drone over, assuming he's not coming to bunker block you.
Okay. How about gas timings? Is it the same, or?
Yeah, really slow. I take 2 at about the same time you did, the initial 2, but then from there I'm really, really slow with the gas. Because really, you just don't need it. Zerglings stop just about everything, apart from maybe Marauder Hellion attacks, which even with Banelings you don't need all that many, because your creep spread is, with 6 queens, creep spread is really good. You've got a lot of transfuses, and queens themselves are just good against Marauders and Hellions.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you guys can kind of, see how this game just...
Yeah, Hellion kind of snuck in there. Yeah.
It's mostly because I'm just so unfamiliar with... I play against this Hellion Banshee style a lot, actually, on Korea server, but I just, I'm not exactly sure the perfect response, what that would be.
I think you were pretty much okay if you had just had 6 speedlings, or even slowlings, whatever, sitting in the natural waiting for him to attempt to run by. Then it would have been a lot more costly for him to even try that. Even with the way your SimCity, you actually could have moved that 2nd spine out of the mineral line and literally in between the evolution chambers, so that he can't run by at all.
Okay.
Yeah, the Zerglings, I think the Zergling net, I guess is what a lot of people call it, is really, really common these days, right?
Yeah, you don't need enough, or you don't need enough Zerglings to actually kill him. It's just to make him second guess that when he tries to run in, because all it takes is one attempt where he moves forward, gets poked a couple times, backs up, and now he can't do it anymore, because trying to run by the 2nd time, he's just going to lose all the Hellions to the spine crawler, to the queens.
Okay, so at this point... Okay, you're at 64 drones, but you're counterattacking right now, which is really good.
Personally, I just consider myself dead at this point, because I'm just dead.
Yeah.
But you're still building drones at this point when... Yeah, we should be definitely building some kind of units.
Well, my drone count has just been hit so hard that I feel like you have to play a bit greedy to get back in the game if you have a chance.
Yeah, you lost 31 there. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. When I fall, even when mutas were more popular, the one case where I still used infestors was when you feel like you're this far behind, go for the infestors, because on the off chance that you bungle down an entire army, you can be right back in the game. Whereas going mutas now, even if you pop out 20 mutas, like 20 marines are gonna kill them. Like it's pretty ridiculous. But right now in ZVT, I find mutas almost completely useless. They're just all around horrible.
Really?
Really? I feel like it's coming back into style.
They really force you to play, like your mechanics need to be top notch to use them, because like they're just so weak. They can't fight anything. Even against people who go Hellion Banshee, I thought to myself, hey, mutas are pretty good here. And then 2 Thors pop out and you're just like, oh, I probably shouldn't have made those mutas, because like they're just such a commitment.
What do you think about the mutas that, going muta, just for that first push that they have, usually with, obviously Stim Combat Shield and Medivacs, but then transitioning quickly into Hive?
Well, the way that, with how easy it is to spread creep right now, a lot of the Terrans that I play against, like, I can kill them with just, like, pure speedlings, nothing else. Because on creep, Zerglings are just way too good. Like, Marine tank pushes are nowhere near what they used to be. Like they used to be pretty standard ZVT, where you've got your Needling Baneling and you're kind of dancing back and forth. They come with the Marine tank. That hasn't happened to me forever, because when Marine tank comes, I just kill it.
Right.
Like the mutas contribute almost nothing at all. They're not strong. And even if you just make a handful of them, it's 10 mutas is 1,000 gas. Whereas if you had just dropped the infestation pit, you can, if I play my 2-base style, I hive at 11 minutes. Like, it's ridiculous how fast you can get to your 3 if you just skip over the mutas. Whereas when you get them, you kind of go into that middle game where you're like, well, I've got 15 to 20 mutas. Do I keep making more? Do I try to get some infestors out in case he pushes? Am I teching hive now? I find it so much better to just go straight to infestors, because I don't believe in attacking a Terran, apart from counterattacks, until you're hive tech, 3/3, mass brood lord or mass ultra, because supply depots and bunkers and like basically stuff behind walls is just so good that you can have a massive lead, try to kill them, and all of a sudden the game is just completely shifted. Yeah. Whereas going infestors, how many Terrans can say that they can kill a Zerg Deathball? Like, even on even footing, it's insanely difficult for them to pull it off. So I prefer, infestors are just way too good.
I go for a more of a, I guess you would say, mid-game style, where I try to starve out Terran. But obviously I lost like so many drones this game, it's not going to work. But
yeah, I mean, you just pretty much have to be non-stop building units, right, to win with that kind of strategy. Yeah,
the problem I have here is I would be able to hold these pushes if I didn't tech, but then I wouldn't have 3/3, and then he'd have 3/3, and so it's just a bad situation. I was hoping I could do some magic with like lucky baneling mines or something, but
that's good.
This guy's the real Trimaster, so he definitely can.
That's awesome. Okay, well.
Yeah, this is like the kind of stage of the game where he's just going to be constantly pushing, and you just can't trade efficiently. Unless he walks the Marines, unsplit into the 7 or so banelings that you have, there's no actual way to turn it around at this point.
I've actually been having a lot of success. If you just, like, if I had more drones right now, like 90, 95, and because I didn't take too much damage early, you actually have a pretty sizable Ling Baneling army, and then the mutas are just there for like picking off medevacs mostly. And it's more like mass than like Idra used to do, like that 40 muta style.
Yeah, because people found out Marines are amazing.
Well, I mean,
What I found is that not only obviously I don't know how to say it other than infestors literally have the ability to kill an entire army. So a lot of the time, what I'll do is as you push your creep forward, obviously it gives you a speed boost. But when you spread your creep everywhere so that you have full vision of the map, the biggest complaint that I get from Terrans is how are they supposed to attack me when they have to cross the map spread out the entire way? Like, they can't do it because it's so easy for my infestors to just kind of, walk in front of them as they follow me home. And if they ever at any point bunch up, the whole army just dies. And this is to 10 or 12 food, 5 or 6 infestors, not that much of an investment. So I've been able to a lot of the time counterattack with 100 to 150 lings. Basically, I take my whole army and counterattack, and it puts them into panic mode because they're saying, well, do I go home and try to defend that? In which case, sure, you're going to defend it, but I'm going to kill a lot of stuff, and then by the time you turn around, I remade those Zerglings because they're so cheap. As long as I was hitting my injects, I'll have them all back. And if you don't turn around, your whole base is going to die because Terran doesn't have any static defense. They're not going to have any, or they don't have any cannons, they don't have any spine crawlers. So they kind of need to hurry to try to kill me. But at the same time, if they hurry too much, I just fungal everything and then their whole army's gone. So
we might have to get you to get a ZVT replay on here. But okay, well, I mean that replay obviously ended. Why don't we load up the next one? You can continue talking about it. I don't know. What do you think about that? What do you think about that style? I guess Spanishiwa.
I can definitely see how it'd be strong, but I don't know. When you're playing really defensive like that, or just not aggressive, I feel like you don't have the chance to end games. So if your opponent makes a mistake, you can't punish him for it. It's just oh well, I guess I'll just.
Well, he's playing for a different point, right? It's that. Yeah. It's that thinking where it's you pick a point, right, at which you're working towards, and a lot of people change that point, right, as the game's going. And obviously with him, it's hive is win, right? I mean, basically once you get the hive, you feel like that's the kill move, basically.
Yeah.
And so that's
because I don't feel like if a Terran plays somewhat competently, not trying to SimCity their base so that it looks pretty, but instead putting depots in front of stuff, it's you can't kill them. They will not die. It's unbelievable how hard it is.
They have to push out to secure a third or a fourth.
Let's go 3 minutes real quick while we're still talking.
Okay, I'll go ahead and put that in times 8.
Keep talking. We'll just wait until.
Oh, sure. I've got it pause at 3 minutes. Just let me know when you guys get there.
Just 1 sec.
Yeah, me too.
But while I agree, you definitely don't trade. At best, you trade cost efficiently, I'd say, unless they just mess something up, didn't split, and banelings kill everything.
Yeah.
But because you're on such a high drone count, 95 or 90, maybe even 100, normally your army would be really tiny, but because you're going Mutilating Bane, all of them are super resource efficient, so you just end up having a bigger economy, and then you can make trades that might not be favorable, but because you have such a big economy, and you kill the entire army. That's how I see it. I think it's a strong way to play. You can be aggressive.
Yeah, mutas definitely give you the option of ending the game a lot sooner, because there could be a case where they maybe go for a double drop, you pick that off, and then you just morph 20 banelings, and they are dead. Maybe you killed a tank or two or something like that. Right. I just feel like it's so much safer to just say, okay, well, I'll just go for the faster hive, and then beat you up with broodlords, ultras, broodlords, ultras over and I just tech switch back and forth until they die. Even though, it definitely takes longer, but I feel like I just don't lose to Terrans unless they.
Do you have any trouble with drops with that style?
With drops? No. The thing you have to know about drops is you have to know they're coming. You can't, act like every game is your first game playing where it's oh, crap, there's, I didn't realize I should spread my overlords, or a Viking cleared out my overlords and I just kind of forgot that he could possibly drop me. Because infestors are so low on supply relative to mutants, where 20 supply of infestors, 10 infestors, is a hell of a lot stronger than 10 mutants. So I've got an extra 10, 20, 30, 40 supply over someone who's using mutants, and all that supply can be used for Zerglings that I just leave in the most obvious spots for drops. And in terms of stopping the medevacs from going wherever they want, you just drop a couple spore crawlers. Spine crawlers are pretty bad because Marine Marauder kills them, but even when Marine Marauder is 3-3, the medevac has to get over land for the units to drop out. So a spore crawler and the queen does wonders for stopping drops.
That's a good point. I mean, about the just the difference, I guess, in the efficiency of the supply when you compare the two. So you literally just leave like a bunch of Zerglings at every base until, I guess. I mean, do you take them whenever you?
Yeah. If I'm moving out, I can take them. But
okay.
Say on this map, when I'm on 3 base, I know really the only place he's going to drop me is in my main. To drop my natural, he's going to fly either right through my vision, or he's going to fly up and around past my main. Which, how are you not going to fly by overlords if you're doing that? So even on this map, when I'm on 5 base, really the only points he can drop me is in my main and in the bottom base. Anything else is kind of ridiculous, unless you fly right over everything I own.
Okay.
So it's only maybe 16 lings waiting at both of those bases. That's 32 lings. That's only 16 food. It's not a lot to stop drops. And you just have to kind of be on top of things, because obviously Terran can get really annoying with picking up the drop and moving somewhere else. You just got to kind of move the lings to follow the drop.
Right.
As long as you don't let him unload, the entire drop and then stim. If he's got to drop into the lings, he can't drop at all, and then he can't do any damage with it. He's just kind of floating around, looking for a place to land.
Right. Okay, let's start this replay, and Mike again, or Spanishiwa, why don't you kind of talk to us a little bit about maybe the adjustments you made here?
Sure.
Because this is right after the last one, right? So.
Yeah. Let's count down here for the.
3, 2, 1, go.
Awesome. So
Did you open the same way here?
Yeah, it's definitely same opening, just 15 hatch, 16 pool. Save the larva to see whether or not I know it's 2 racks. This game, he went command center first the previous game, so I'm poking out with my overlord here. This is kind of risky because the marine would be up by now if they didn't go CC first, but I just kind of took the risk because, I don't know, I figured I lost the last game, might as well. But yeah, so I'm just droning here. I'm gonna make a pair of lings relatively early, just before like 28 supply, or before that overlord on 25, I think, just to clear out my 3rd base in case he decides to build anything there.
Like a bunker, or I mean on eBay.
Yeah, I think he's actually doing
worse.
Yeah, the bunkers
it's
usually
incredibly annoying.
Yeah. Used to seeing the bunkers, so yeah, the eBay kind of surprised me there. But still blocked it, whatever.
So just like before, I tried to get at least 2 queens out before getting my 3rd base. This game I end up building 4 because obviously the engineering bay delayed my 3rd.
Yeah, this is how I would do it normally. Just exactly like you're doing it right now. Both queens inject, both queens come to the front, stops at scout, your 3rd and 4th queens are on the way, and then these 2 queens are now your creep queens, and your 3rd is about to get started. And I don't think it hurts your economy at all, because up until this point you're like literally just pumping drones. You're not short on, or it's not like you're floating money. You're not floating larvae. You're just everything kind of gets spent perfectly.
At this point, where both the injects just pop off, and do you just build all drones, or because this is normally where you go for 5th and 6th queen, I believe.
Yeah, see, this is where I get somewhere in here on the natural. I'll start the 5th queen, and then when that queen finishes, I start the 6th. Because at this point, if he was to have gone for Hellions, there's not going to be a lot of them out. 4 queens is more than enough. I think rushing the 6 queens is like kind of wasteful. It does, they just end up sitting around. Maybe you get an extra creep tumor or 2, but when you have 4 queens, loaded with energy, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, this looks a lot more similar to what I would do. You've got the 4 queens. The only thing really I would drop the Spine Crawler in the natural. That, like, the Spine Crawler does a really good amount of damage to the Hellions, and that's what says, if you're gonna come in, then come in, and, you know, and you can try to kill my drones, but I'm gonna kill you, or stay out. But none of this, you know, coming in, can I go in, or I'm just gonna leave now. If he comes in, you gotta make him pay for it.
Okay. I didn't build the spines immediately. I just kind of waited until I saw his Hellions.
Yeah, if you were getting greedier, this looks completely fine.
Okay. I didn't drone transfer to my third though, just because didn't have the spines up. So it almost feels like my third's a little useless here because I don't have any drones there.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But oh well. I mean, I'm not really sure how to fix that. So
I don't think you have to. What I was actually, ZBT, like I said, pre-patch was my best matchup. When the matchup changed, I actually started losing because people convinced me that you had to be so much greedier now because you could, that Hellions started killing a bunch of my drones. Whereas pre-patch, I wasn't losing anything because I knew how to stop the Hellions. So the way that you're doing it, I think, like, right here was completely fine. You didn't, I mean, at most you would have transferred maybe 3 workers from each base. So it's not like you're losing out on, you know, 20 workers mining or anything like that. But yeah, I think definitely single Spine Crawler at one at the third, one at the natural is more than enough. You don't need the third and the fourth. If anything, just have, you know, a couple more Zerglings. That way, when he tries to make that run by, you can actually have something to stop him.
Okay. Definitely give that a try.
Yeah, on this map, prior to the patch, again, I was really against scouting Terrans with Overlords. Like, I just never did it. I would just blindly, if I saw Hellions, I would blindly make a Spore, because when you're making so many drones, one Spore Crawler is like nothing. If, you know, on the chance that he goes Banshees, you look like a genius, and if he doesn't, you just use it later on to block medevacs. It's really not a big deal. But now I definitely do advise scouting after you start to see those first couple of Hellions leave. You want to get an Overlord through their base, because if you see a third command center, or, you know, starport, whatever, you know how much greedier you can get. Like, he's trying to do these Hellion run-bys still, and see, this is the part that's kind of annoying, is even with the Spine Crawlers there, he can still get the kills. So you really need to rely a little bit more on the Speedlings and less on the Spine Crawlers.
Alright.
Alright, so...
yeah, I didn't drone scout this game just because after I saw the Banshee, or even the initial Hellions on the CC first, I kind of just assumed he would do the same thing. So...
right, which he did.
Yeah, I normally do send one in though, around 6:45.
Okay. Okay, so I mean, you definitely ended up a lot better than last game. I think you only lost 12.
The Banshees are still, I don't know. The Banshees were really annoying me this game because I don't know if I just like placed the Spore Crawler wrong or what, but I never seem to be able to.
I know. I talk to people about that too, and people are like, "Oh, you know, 1 Spore protects Mineral Line, or 2 Spores." Banshee's range is so big that unless you have like 4 Spores, they can always hit something. Like, there's always a spot they can stand and pick off drones. It's really annoying, but yeah.
Are you
I think
for the extra spores, or
the extra Spores? No, I just drop the 1 and take the losses. You put the Queens there so that they actually have to pay attention, because if they make the mistake of coming too close, 4 Queens or 3 Queens will tear down a Banshee really, really quickly. And I take my gases, like, beyond... I think I'm on 3 gases on 3 base. I don't take the 4th, 5th, and 6th quite as fast, because basically when he's, like, when you're afraid of a push coming or whatever, you need a decent amount of mutas for them, you know, for them to actually mean anything. If I can save up just 800 gas, that's enough for 5 infestors, I think. And 5 infestors is more than enough to stop any sort of mid-game push. So instead of getting so much gas, I mass expand. Like, I push my creep really, really hard and take more bases and get more drones. So even if the Banshees are sitting there for, you know, 30 seconds killing drones, it doesn't matter, because I just make so many.
Yeah, I normally don't gas this fast, but I assumed that I wouldn't take any damage because I knew the Banshees and the Hellions were there, and I like built 4 spines, but somehow I still lost some drones, so I definitely had too much gas than I wanted.
Yeah, these Banshees are being so annoying.
Yeah, they are.
It's just like, yeah.
Having to deal with them only with queens and spores was definitely a challenge. But during this, I mean, should you have countered with your lings here? Because I mean, he's doing this. Yeah.
That's something I found out recently. Apparently, when they go this Hellion Banshee opening, you're supposed to like send out whatever lings you have whenever your ling speed's done to the third base.
Yeah.
And then you deny the third for a little while.
Exactly.
So he was able to get a really greedy third this game just because pretty bad. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Banshee harass is just purely for just getting that third established, right? So yeah, that definitely is gonna. You would even losing some of these drones, you'd still be fine, I think.
Even with that though, I don't. I know there are cases where you can send out the lings and deny the third, but there's also the times where you send out the lings and he made a couple more Hellions than you expected. Especially like 4 Hellions is not so much, but when they get to 8 or 10. They just kill like so many Zerglings, it's unbelievable. So most of the time, I'll make the links just to push him back, and then if he wants his third, I just let him have it. Like I really think that we just macro better than Terrans do. Like when if neither side attacks each other, Terrans don't win. Like they have to come to us all the time. It seems like. So yeah, I just let them take the base and really focus on moving myself straight up to 5 or 6 bases as fast as possible.
I do like your corruptor adjustment there. That's actually that was a good adjustment.
I heard Suppy talking about corruptors.
Exactly.
Personally, after this game, I kind of figured that I hate corruptors, but I definitely see how they could be good.
Well, it just depends. If you're going to streamline to broodlords, it does make sense to clean up the medevacs on the way there, I guess, in that push. But
yeah,
just depends on what your strategy is.
That's actually why I built them to kill the medevacs. But I don't know. Like during the my attack at his natural, like if those were mutas, I felt like I could do a lot more damage. But I mean, corruptors shoot down, so.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's really if it's meant for you. You're right. If they were mutas, that would probably be you'd probably have a higher probability of winning the game right there, possibly. But again, if you're trying to shoot for Hive to win the game, then I think corruptors would be the right choice. It just depends on what your strategy is.
Yeah, for sure.
In both these games, you end up with such an abundance of gas. Like I want to see so many infestors, like just a lot of infestors, especially when the creep spread gets a lot further. They are just ridiculous. They do everything for you.
Yeah, normally I don't have this gas, but like this game in particular, I went corruptor instead of muta, so it was a bit more mineral heavy than I'm used to, and I lost a lot of those drones. Normally I'm at like 95 or 100. So I think I end up taking off. I just stopped mining gas pretty soon because I figured this gas was just not helping me. And also, it was kind of that dynamic in the natural where I was trying to push him for a kill or like some heavy economic damage, but so I didn't want to like more Fainlings.
Yeah.
It's the wings.
And this is a good maybe point to discuss too. Is like, given that you've just been constantly just trading with and you haven't gotten a chance to even get high tech. You haven't gotten a chance to get infestors or even 2 broods yet. This isn't good for Zerg, right? Being stuck at this tech at this point in the game. Is that a correct assessment, or? Yeah,
you don't want to be using Ling Bane basically exclusively to trade, because once the upgrades hit 3/3, tank, Marine tank just shreds everything. Like you actually can't get close enough to kill anything anymore.
Right, because your trades weren't bad during all that. You know what I mean? It's just.
I think the natural it was actually pretty bad.
Oh,
I was ahead on resources, and then I ended up behind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Actually.
That's exactly what I mean. I've had so many opportunities like that where you're looking at it like, I just crushed his army, or he attacked me, I crushed his army, now I'm counterattacking. There's almost nothing here. I should be able to do some damage, but it's like, well, there's 2 supply depots in front of a bunker, and he's rallying behind his supply depot wall. So you make 80 Zerglings, and they do almost nothing. It's really, really annoying.
Yep.
So I always just let them have it. Say, okay, you can live now. I'll see you in 5 minutes, and then you're dead.
Right.
This was just me trying to counter this Hellion Banshee stuff, so that's why this style wasn't really working so well. But normally when I do it, it's a lot more effective with Ling Mutabane. I just don't take the gases on my 4th or 5th or any other bases.
Yeah.
And then on like 95 drones, and it's a lot. Like,
it's just constant. Basically just constantly this type of attack over and over again, right? And but your momentum is, I mean, your momentum slowly increases, so. Gotcha.
Yeah, this is always a struggle when you're at this point. Especially when you're starting to starve. Well, I always go back to just making lots of infestors and oh yeah, okay.
I mean, I guess it kind of looks like it because he's got like double economy, but that's actually just mules.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is definitely 2 low drones, but I tried to kill him and I should have just droned up more. 70 is definitely not enough for Mutiling Bane unless you're doing crazy aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not banking anything in between larva cycles with only 71. Yep. And we all know how cost efficient Terran units are.
Yeah, this is the point where you're just you gotta be hoping that somewhere you can land some money fungals and, buy yourself some breathing room so that you can get that round of drones in.
Yeah.
And maybe pull yourself back together.
Yeah,
like here down at the bottom, and this is why I love infestors. Like you have 6 food of units down there, and you just kill like 15 Marines.
Right. Yeah, Banes just aren't nearly as effective with 3-3.
The one thing I don't like about infestors though is I don't think you can attack with them.
Yeah, not really. It's really just they're just there to say you can't attack me. Give me a couple minutes and then I'll come get you once my breeds are or once my ulcers are up.
Yeah, they're definitely a defensive unit.
I feel like Ling Baneling would be just as effective as stopping pushes, but the difference is that you could attack with them. Although you do get the negative that the Banelings die because they have to blow up. But
yeah.
Definitely
Not
effective
reusable.
at killing Marines.
Yeah. Have you tried the that first time max where it's just mass Ling Banes with even just a few muta?
Yeah, I only
style?
build like 15 mutas at a time, I would say, just to snipe the medevacs and force turrets.
Okay.
And then everything else is just drones and lanes, basically.
Banes on the tanks, but they're not going to kill anything else otherwise.
Yeah.
It's a good split on this part.
And you'd actually be surprised. In some situations like that where they don't split their tanks, Banelings on tanks is actually pretty cost effective.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's not always that bad.
It's kind of like Banelings versus Roach. You'd think it'd be terrible, but sometimes it works out.
Yeah. And these days, Terrans are really good about target firing the Banes anyways with the tanks, so you might as well just blow them up. I mean, it's... Oh, the clumps! Where are those infestors?
Yeah, too far back.
Oh, that would have gotten you back in the game there, I think.
What I needed was I feel like you can only drone if you have map control, so I needed that round of drone, so I was trying to force an engage, but obviously that didn't work out very well.
Yeah, I think a big thing too is it's pretty difficult, but Hellion Banshee, part of the unseen damage, I guess, apart from keeping you kind of cooped up on your side of the map for longer, is it really stops your creep spread. Because on this map, it is so important that you have the creep spread, both the top and the bottom hallway, like to his ramp. I guess to the kind of to the opening where his watchtower is, and that way, as soon as he picks his direction, you can go there and wait for him. It makes it a lot harder for them, rather than where he can set up these tanks on the high ground, and it's just kind of like you're guessing whether or not you can fight what's up there or not.
Yeah, this is where it starts to starts to snowball when he starts spreading you out, and
Yep.
those small Terran armies are so much more cost efficient.
But I'm pretty much mined out my main natural, almost third base, so
Yeah, it's true.
yeah. Just dead.
Yeah.
But
All right. Well,
I think it was the Harvesters this game. They just never went above like 70.
Yeah, I think a big difference between this and what I do is because I never push to as many harvesters as you're talking about, like 95 to 100. I like to sit at about 80 to 85. And then because I, again, have no plans in my mind of attacking at all, I'm just making enough lings to sit at home and defend, focusing on spreading my creep, getting those infestors out, and then I end up with like a ridiculous mineral bank. I don't mind that much gas because sometimes I need to make a few banelings, but for the most part, you know, my gas is going solely towards upgrades and infestors, and that's it. If he ever pushes out, a crap load of speedlings and a handful of infestors is really, really good at either, you know, killing him outright or forcing him to stop, siege up in a position that's really far away from me, and then I just take the lings, go around, counterattack, and the infestors sit at home stopping him from attacking me too fast while I just make another 100 Zerglings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. They're pretty different styles. The two of you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
So it's obviously hard to completely change to one, I think. Yeah, because you know, with your style, Mike or Spanishiwa, it requires a lot of, like you said, it requires a lot of throwing away units, you know, or trading units, however you want to talk, you know, kind of describe it. So yeah, it requires definitely more drones, more minerals, and you know, you can almost say it's like less cost efficient because of it, but that's okay because you're making them just as, you know, their cost efficiency just as bad too. So it should even out, or hopefully it snowballs towards your direction.
I like it because like just the way that Terran production works, they can't build that many units at once. I mean, late game, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, but when they're doing the early pushes, like before 15 minutes, they really can't remix that fast. So if you're able to hold that first push, which, I mean, pretty much you're gonna, or else you just lose the game and then you just start again. But yeah, you'll be able to hold that push, and then you have map control for a decent window. And in that window, you can just take another base and just drone up. And suddenly, like, your economy is crazy good because they can't really punish you for it.
Yeah, I feel the same way with the infestor style, though. I'll take the bases. I always tell people I take bases not necessarily because I can defend them, but on a map like this,
just to force them to attack you?
Yeah, he can't walk around the bottom, like the entire bottom of the map. If he's, you know, just taking his third and I'm establishing a fourth and a fifth, if he was to try to walk around the bottom of the map and actually attack an empty hatchery, like he would have to trade me his natural or something that he actually needs in exchange for it. And then when he decides, okay, well now I need to go do damage, again you have to walk on creep, you have to get by those infestors.
Yeah.
Which is just really, really, really hard for them to do.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you've talked to Suppy, obviously, right, about Mike Spanish, and like it's kind of like his philosophy he has with CVP. It's kind of similar. Like he uses those lings to go deny and harass, while he just leaves his infestors there with the spines, right?
It's a little different though versus Terran because infestors can kill a whole Terran army.
Yeah,
if you try to, you know, if you try to walk up to a Protoss ball with just infestors, he's gonna blink forward. You're gonna lose all the infestors. But against Marines,
yeah, you don't need the spines, right?
Yeah, he can't do it. Like you literally just walk around with 10 infestors, and he's crapping his pants the whole time because if he misclicks, he's gonna lose everything.
Right. They just don't die, those Marines.
Yeah.
It was just, it was like even economy versus even, or not even. I was behind because of mules, but in terms of number of harvesters, it was even.
Okay, well, why don't we kind of, this one's over now. Okay, Good stuff. Not sure what to take from that. Like, what are your, what are your kind of assessments of that? Spanishiwa?
I mean, in what sense?
I mean, because just anything that he said, kind of, kind of resonate with you, or no?
Definitely, the opening is pretty big. You'd be surprised how important it is. Like in ZPZ, I remember I was doing this 3-base opening, but I was just getting the 3rd base too fast. Like I would get it on like 36 supply.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually hurting me economically, even though my mindset was I want a 3rd base to get a bigger economy. So I think the same thing was kind of happening there on the ZVT, like building too many spine crawlers.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 spines might not seem like that much, but between the 2 drones and the actual build time and the cost, that's like 300 minerals, which is an entire hatchery. So yeah, I think being a bit greedier, and then with that greed you can get extra queens and have more creep spread, so that would fix that problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I think a lot of the issues stemmed from the opening. A combination of I was kind of on the back foot there, didn't have the creep spread, didn't have the queens,
Mm-hmm.
had extra spines, and he still killed the drones anyway. And on top of that, he got the greedy 3rd, where I could have just counterattacked, but I didn't know. So
right.
It's just game knowledge, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think StarCraft 2 is a lot more game knowledge than mechanics.
Yeah, I think if
Absolutely.
I can swap out one of the replays, I actually have a ZBT replay that.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
could go
Let's
over.
look at that, because I think that would be the most productive. Not to say that your ZVP ones aren't productive, but watching you kick somebody's ass with ZVP is probably. I mean, it'd be productive for the viewers, but maybe not so much with Mike here. So let's take a look at that too, just to see some points.
You don't have trouble with like late game, like what if they get like Vikings and they turtle with planetaries?
Oh, no, there is no late game. Is all me. They like.
Your control's good. Your late game control is really good, actually.
I mean, to be honest, the control in the late game falls really on the Terran's shoulders. You don't have to do all that much. It's not like you're trying to dodge a vortex. So unless they go Ravens, it's like put 16 Broodlords together, and then put Queens and Infestors underneath them, and then you just click your fungal button and wait. You just move command or move the Broodlords and move very slowly underneath them, and when he comes, you spam fungal, spam transfuse, and it works out way too easily. I don't even go in with the mindset that, assuming the game's gone the way that I want it to, my first army isn't even meant to kill him. It's just to kill his army so that I can remake a new one and then kill him with that.
All right, let's take a look at this.
Yeah, let me send that on.
Okay, let me get this. The BZ.
It actually said sending failed, so
let me
you guys could.
Oh, it might have been because I took it here. Oh wait, is that the same one? Okay, there you go. You getting it?
You might have better luck just sending it to me directly. Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Not going.
Yeah, for some reason I guess I can't send to him. He can't send to me.
Weird. Okay.
Maybe.
Send it
Do I have you added?
I can send it directly to you. Yeah, it's probably because you don't have them added. That's what it is. You guys add each other. Talk shop.
All right.
Oh, you sent it to me.
Oh, did I send it to you?
Yeah.
Damn, sorry. Like, oh man. One of those nights. Okay, where are you, Mike? God. There you are.
Great. Awesome.
Okay, here we go. How often do you roach ban anymore?
Funny enough, because of the change in openings, it's not that great. This guy
used to roach bane all the time.
It was so good, but I guess it just happened to hit a window where when they opened Reactor Hellion, which was basically what every Terran did before,
right?
They did not have a lot of production because after they opened Reactor Hellion, then they're dropping the 3rd CC, then double engineering bay, and whatever else they're deciding to do. Whereas now, because they open CC first or one rack CC almost all the time, I'm getting to their door, and there's just a lot of Marine Marauder. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, he must have not played greedy. And then I check the replay, and it's like, he's got the double engineering bay. The CC's there. It's just a more economic opening from them, so they have way too much stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. So,
yeah. Because a lot of players go 3CC, I think that actually just counters Roachbane busts.
Yeah. I don't know what they're complaining about.
It's like it's weird because you definitely kill like every SCV in the natural, like everything's dead, like it's just gone. 25 SCVs, but
mules.
As soon as they drop those mules, they're literally above your income, and you're just like.
Yeah, and you haven't teched at all. You've just been sitting on 33 drones.
Yeah, 38.
Yeah. Is it 38? Okay, well that's higher.
They could have 12 SCVs. It would still. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but because Terran's not supposed to have equal harvesters.
Yeah,
so
not even close.
The mule to make it up, and then multiply that by 3, and it's good.
3x, exactly. Alright, let's set this up.
Alright,
and,
I'm at 3 minutes.
Again, guys, what we're doing is we just looked at 2 replays from Spanishiwa talking about ZVT, and
wow, this is TBZ. He's actually he goes to UC Davis. He's the best Terran here, I'd say.
Oh, is he? Okay, cool.
Pretty impressive, yeah.
Let's get to 3 minutes here. And just to remind you viewers, we're doing a giveaway tonight. Jeez, I haven't even mentioned the giveaway, jeez. We're doing a giveaway of a Razor Abyssus mouse. And the way you enter it is follow me, tweet me, ChanmanV twitter.com/ChanmanV. Or you can like me and message me on Facebook, which is facebook.com/ChanmanTV. Tweet me or message me a good nickname for either JEcho or Spanishiwa. And when I say nickname, I mean nicknames like Obama Toss, or what's some other good ones that we know of?
Kratos Protoss.
Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to think of a funny
King of
one.
Drones.
King of Drones. There you go. Yep. Stuff like that, guys. What's White Raw? Jeez, I'm like having a total brain.
Grandpa Toss.
Grandpa. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So a creative nickname for either of these guys, and you will win this mouse right here. Okay. All right. I'm at 3 minutes.
All right. I'm ready to go.
Oh wait.
Okay, waiting for you.
Okay, you can start that. Wait. I went to 2 minutes instead of 3.
It's all good.
This Blizzard replay system. It's like.
Yeah.
I wish I could just.
Heart of the Swarm, man. Heart of the Swarm. We will finally have.
Maybe I can watch replays with friends now.
Exactly.
Just like in Brood War.
Exactly.
All right, I'm at 3 minutes here.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I actually go 15 hatch, 17 pool, and I do drone scout, just because I want to know if it's a proxy racks or not. I think it's a little bit different because this is ladder, where if you don't see the 2 racks coming and he bunker blocks your ramp, you lose. So I like to know what's coming beforehand.
I've been having a lot of success just drone drilling. Have you?
I've tried it, but I always fail at it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the drone drill works now?
Some maps, the minerals aren't in the right place, like to get the drones in the position you want. So I just gave up on that. I just don't let them do it at all.
It's only on Entombed, but you can actually just get around that by using camera hotkeys.
Oh, I suck at those.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Gosh, that takes some definitely mechanical practice there for sure.
I tried doing that to fix my mechanics, and it was like, okay, never mind. I should have been doing this when the game started. It's too late now.
Viewers, what Spanishiwa talking about is when you can stack your drones. You know, if they like bunker block you or pylon block you, whatever, you can stack your drones so that basically. You know, normally you can't get enough surface area to hit the pylons if they're all spread out. But if you stack them, they can all hit basically all hit that pylon or all hit that bunker as long as they're stacked. So there's a technique to doing it. So
it's pretty much a free win because they have to cancel the bunkers and then they don't have money for more bunkers. So.
Oh yeah.
I think just normal 2 racks is better.
Yeah, that's true.
So. At this point, I made those initial 2 links just like you did. I've got the 3rd hatch coming after the 3rd and 4th queen are started. And I already know that I took the watchtower. I think I looked around somewhere around there, but I haven't seen anything come out of his face. So I'm not afraid of a bunker going down or anything like that.
What is it you do with the drone scout? Is that just for 2 racks, or do you actually change your build?
Well, it's to know if it's 2 racks, if he took gas, or if 1 rack CC or CC first, because for 1 rack CC I gas at about 45 supply, versus CC first I don't gas till 50.
Okay.
It's really small differences, and some Terrans you can actually kill the SCB, which is always nice. So I'm getting that single spine crawler down. I did see that those couple lings, it's only 4. They'll be more effective than a second spine crawler, because if he comes in, I'm going to punish him right away. I don't want him going by or anything like that. And in the case where he makes Marines like this, then I've got some Zerglings, so that's not going to be a problem either. So I think, yeah, I'm up to 5 queens now. I don't know this game if I make the 6th queen. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Sometimes I just forget about her, sometimes I don't, but I really don't think there's that big of a difference between 5 or 6 queens. At this point, I obviously know that those Marines are coming, so I'm just making the Zerglings and kind of waiting for them. And then setting up the same kind of SimCity you did with the Evo chamber wall. Now, just like you didn't, I'm not concerned about transferring drones to the 3rd hatchery. I'll just rally my hatcheries there later, because both my other mineral lines, combining them, there's only 3 drones mining at half capacity, so it's not really killing me or anything like that.
So would you say these Marines are easier to handle than, say, Hellions?
Than Hellions? Yeah, they were definitely a lot easier. Hellions, I believe, would have come a little bit later, or there wouldn't have... Well, Hellions give potential to do, damage to drones and to buildings, but they're never going to kill the queens, whereas I have had people actually, surprise me with a bunch of Marines, and they can outright kill the hatchery, they can kill the queens, whereas if I didn't transfer anything, even if he's sitting there with 8 Hellions, it's not doing anything. Like, what's he going to do? Tickle the hatchery until I'm ready, to make him leave?
Right.
So it really, I'm comfortable with either opening. I've already got an Overlord on the left side, some Lings, spread out on the left and right side, so I can see, if medevacs are coming. And now I'm really focusing, as you can see, I'm only on 3 gases at this point. I'm focusing on getting a lot of drones, a big economy, the macro hatches coming up, and really just pushing out the creep spread. Like, creep spread is like another resource against Terran. It's not like Protoss, where they just walk around with an observer and kill it. If you spread your creep well against Terran, you can suffocate them. You push the creep right to their base, and they feel like, I can't even leave, because as soon as I step outside, he sees me, and he knows exactly what my army size is. He knows how I'm positioned, and he runs faster. So
yeah, and detection is economic damage too.
Yeah, exactly. So I dropped. Funny enough, look at this time. This was lucky timing. Spine and Spore in the 3rd and in the main, and because I know drops are coming. Like, he doesn't have a 3rd, and he hasn't pushed out on the map, because I can see 80% of the map. He's obviously not walking. So I dropped those, and I'm completely fine. As a rule of thumb, generally what I do is move up to about, I think it's around 60 drones. I guess I'm a little bit light right now, on 3 base, as long as a Terran remains on 2 base, because then if I just sit here and pump speedlings, which is why I'm just pumping speedlings, any Marine, any Marine tank, medevac, or whatever push will get crushed so easily, because my creep is so far. I actually started making drones again and expanding again, because at this point he should have either pushed or taken a 3rd, so I'm just assuming his build is not really thought out that well. So I'm just going to take advantage of that, move out, start taking more gases. But even if he was doing an all-in at this point, I'm pretty confident that I'll crush it. Which is why, I think that's why I got Baneling Speed, because I was like, well, why is this 3rd CC not come out yet?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting how low econ you're sitting on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because with the 4 hatch, I should be able to pop out a lot of drones all at once. The only thing I'm kind of confused about here is I skipped the passage inclines. I guess I forgot that I went high before passage inclines, which I never do.
But again, this is a specific read, right? Because it was just because of the late 3rd.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
yeah,
you would have droned up
exactly.
to at least 75 or 80, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, usually I don't sack overlords. My reasoning is basically if he hasn't
God, look at those tumors! Holy
if he
shit!
if he hasn't taken a third base, I'm not hurting myself by pumping lings because his economy's not going to be any better if he's sitting there. You know, even if he's got
Well,
6 Cs on 2 base, he's just going to mine himself out if he's massing mules. He really needs to get a third base before I need, to get any more drones.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Mules are pretty good.
No, yeah, they definitely are. But if he is mining more with them, after that portion is done, like if he's literally doing that to 2 bases, he's not going to have anything left in those bases, like at all.
But he'll have a big army, right? And then when he has that army, he'll just have map control and take another base by lifting out his mined out base.
Yeah, they never really seem to hit the insane economy when they. Oh, okay, I see.
I mean, they're just going to have that army faster, really, in theory, right?
Yeah.
Just
so,
as long as the infrastructure's there. Yeah.
Yeah, this game, it does kind of get a little bit annoying where your games do drag on. So I actually did make a lot of banelings, and what I was hoping was to just kill him. But then he didn't come out. So I changed my mind and just went back into. I was like, okay, well, I'll go for Broodlords now.
During this whole time, you're just behind in economy.
Yeah, but
for like the past 7 minutes, I'd say.
He can't. I guess I am behind in economy, but the fact that my creep is completely, pushed him back because I did make a crap load of banelings. I really wanted to just kill him when he pushed out, and he didn't come out. But from this point on, I just don't see what he can do. He can't drop me because I can see now everything that's not his 3 bases. The rest of the map is completely covered in creep. So a drop getting by would be kind of bad on my part. This was actually pretty funny. He started nuking me, which was one of the things I forgot about. That's always very annoying.
I mean, to your points, Manisha, I mean, you could have droned. You could have droned up to like 80, like instantly, and you would have been fine. But I think you didn't, and it's still fine for some reason. I don't know why, but it's still fine for some reason.
I think it's because the only units I've made are Zerglings and Banelings, which, even if I had made Infestors, they're cheap. I say they're cheap relative to Mutas because you only need a handful, whereas with Mutas you really need a decent number to accomplish anything. So if he had taken his third faster, I definitely would have pumped out a lot more drones. And this is what I was waiting for, was for him to come out so I could just kill him. But this is the kind of situation where I'm good now to just remake a lot of speedlings, and I don't know what he's going to do because he is still in a situation where the moment he leaves his base, he's back on creep, and like it's just really, really difficult for them.
Oh man, this is so different from Needling Bane that I play.
But the creep is but the creep is huge though. I mean, like Mike, if you had the creep spread, every time you attacked, I mean, you'd be much more cost efficient too. I mean, I mean, look at that. I mean, he's just like annihilated an even army there, like, which shouldn't happen.
Yeah, that's true. Oh.
So it's because it was on creep. Man.
Yeah, with creep against Terran, it really is just. I think it's also a combination of not only of you being able to see, but them not being able to see. I mean, I've had times where I have almost nothing, and the Terrans, go slow on creep because he's afraid of what could be coming. Even if they scan and see nothing, they don't know if it's because you have nothing or if because you moved your army somewhere else.
It's a nice bunker in the back there. As he throws down 8 mules. Okay, so do you get to the Broodlord army here? I mean, he's only on 3 days here.
I did get in there and do some damage, but it is just the safest way to end a Terran is to get Broodlords.
This is definitely different though.
Yeah.
Because you've done majority of your damage with just Ling Bane here.
Yeah, he really dragged the game out by going nukes because nukes are very, very annoying. like there's one ghost or 2 or 3 ghosts somewhere on the map, and if you're not paying attention, you lose 20 drones at a base, the spines and the spores, or if you're really not paying attention, you lose your broodlords. So I kind of try to do as soon as I hear a nuke, I look at my army, make sure there's no red dot around, and then check my most recent mining bases to check for the dot, and then after that I just say, all right, whatever. If you nuke me, you nuke me. Yeah. Because one of the things I've seen people do, like you freak out and really look everywhere for the dot, and that's when you end up losing your army, and that seems to be the most important thing. You can't let him kill, especially a Broodlord Corruptor army with a nuke. The trade is just ridiculous. Right.
Well, I mean, I think this game's pretty, kind of self-explanatory from here, because you're way ahead at this point, I think.
And again, he's got that fourth command center.
Yeah.
But he can't do anything with it.
Yeah, I mean,
where's he gonna put it?
It's gonna take like 2 or 3 minutes to receive that creep to even put it down. So
if he even gets there.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to note though, do you always go to looks like 21 drones per mineral field? I see like Idra do that, but
I think that's I just feel like that's a nice number, 20-ish, because 16 is perfect, but I feel like you don't get quite as much money as you'd like when you have only exactly 16, and anything more like 24, I just look at it and it doesn't look right, because you can see drones kind of dawdling around doing nothing.
Right.
So you stick with 20 then?
Yeah, I like to sit around 20.
Okay.
Now, if he wasn't nuking me, I would have taken the time to bring queens forward and put the creep back, but every time I hear a nuke, I'm super paranoid, which is why I have my army sitting on top of spines and a spore, because I don't want a ghost coming anywhere near them. At this point, I'm thinking that's the one way to lose this game, is to let him nuke me. Because, yeah, at this point, like, he's got the fourth trying to go down, but, like you said, that creep is going to be there for a really long time, and his main and his natural are almost done.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, that's his army, and once you kill it, he's dead. I mean, he can't remake it, so it's... Yeah. You could actually just go and trade right now and win the game, actually.
Yeah, they're... I mean, nukes...
Yeah, nukes are game changers, I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Really carefully against Aaron, because they'll just start throwing nukes down in random places and hoping that you fly through it. And I've seen it happen to people where it's just like, oh, no.
That would definitely even the game out for you. It would definitely, well, actually, it would more than screw your bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have enough bank to quite remake that.
Yeah, I think I was focusing on getting that left base reestablished first.
But, all right, why don't we 2x it from here?
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of speed this up a little bit. Hopefully, get one more replay in here before Q&A.
Yeah, he does still have. Funny enough, he's got a really low tank count, which is really good against this type of army.
Oh, nice.
But he still can't really do too much in the fight, because it's so like I'm on aiming, and then I'm just aiming my fungals. And as he's doing this, like he wins the fight. It's like, okay, that's cool. I'll just make ultras, and now your Viking Marine counts for nothing. And this is at the point where, like, even when I'm making, +3 flyer, armor, and carapace, is because if he kills the ultras, then I'll probably go back. I mean, if by some miracle he kills the ultras, he probably landed his Vikings, and if he does that, then I can go Broodlords again.
Right.
Because there's no way off of this 3 base. I know he can't tech switch like I can.
Yeah. Nobody can tech switch like
I
can. Actually, Terrans usually can tech switch at this point in the game because they have like 15 barracks and like 10 factories. So.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but this looks like a pretty sick style. Just get that fast tech, fast broodlords.
Those little econ styles are interesting. Have you guys ever watched like Pitsy play?
Yeah, he does a lot of like queen, knightess things, but like I think the queen style is really good, but that's like that's the style that I fall back on when a Terran is harassing me really well, suffocating me, and I can't get up to 5 bases or 6 bases or whatever, depending on the map, and mine up all that gas, because if you continue to 3 or 4 bases, you can actually replace corruptors and even some broodlords with just pure queens, and then you have like a really strong army, because broodlord, infestor, queen, the queens are your anti-air, and transfuse makes you ignore broodlords.
Yep, transfuse just makes all your units like 50% more.
Yeah, I don't
effective.
recommend going for it right off the bat, because having 20 broodlords and then infestor corruptor is much stronger than having the queens. But if you're forced into it, it's definitely a nice option to have.
It's just an interesting style, just because it's very, very defensive, right? Which is, it's always been kind of a, it's backwards from what the normal, I guess, Zerg style is, which is, aggression and that kind of thing. And I think the current metagame is a little bit more defensive, because a lot of people are rushing hive and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, his is just so exaggerated. It's interesting to watch, actually, because he sits on like 50-55 drones for a long time. Like, it's almost like this game, but he doesn't read. He doesn't make a read. That's like he just does it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Have you ever seen it, Mike?
Yeah, I have actually. It looked pretty strong. Just,
it's interesting.
I believe he doesn't inject, but he just spreads creep instead. So
yeah, it's a lot of weird stuff. Like I don't personally like mixing ultras and broodlords, unless I'm just trying to fill up an army to finish him off. But it's like that's what he aims for, is to have a lot of queens, some ultras, some broodlords, and I'm just looking at that like, I would not make that. Like, I don't want to make that. But he makes it work, and it's, I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think in general it's based around I guess it's the belief that the Zerg, death ball, like the broodlord, queen, infestor, whatever, ultra death ball is greater than any other death ball, right? And as long as he gets there, he basically thinks he's won, right? So it's just kind of a build up to that.
I think it's the queens. They seem to exaggerate what response you need. So like, if you just went broodlord, they could just go Viking. But if you go like broodlord queen, they'd need like something a bit stronger than Viking, like maybe more Vikings. But when you have
need
like
a ghost, right?
When you have like ultra and broodlord, then you need 2 exaggerated responses, like 2 really strong ones. But Terran usually at that point in the game can only afford 1. So
I find it interesting that they stopped using ghosts. Ghosts are still really good. Like, you obviously can't snipe down a whole army, but it's never fun when you've got 10 to 15 infestors and 10 to 15 queens, and EMP just starts going off everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, why don't they just build like 1 ghost?
Yeah,
seriously,
I know, exactly.
Honestly, they don't have to use it offensively. It's just pure EMP, and you just neutralized 2 of those units in that ball we're talking about. So.
I don't know. Let's not tell them.
Yeah. Be sure to delete that from the VOD here. No, just kidding.
Okay. The next patch is possibly going to buff the Raven, so more of them will go that way, and even less people will use the Ghost.
It was a matter of time. Like, the Raven has been such a, it's been such a great utility unit that they haven't used for the longest time. That, I mean, it's better than an investor. Like, if you just match up everything, it's actually better than an investor, but it's just like nobody ever needed to use it.
Yeah, it definitely can. I've had games where, like, the Raven's not a joke. If you have, your army bunched up, Hunter-Seeker missiles will kill a lot of stuff.
Hunter-Seeker missiles, PDDs, turrets have armor. They're hard as shit to kill with, like, lings and then their detection, too. So it's like, they serve like 4 purposes. So
yeah, and a lot of Terrans in the late game, they're banking like 2-3k gas because all they make is Marines.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
I've even seen some crazy stuff where you like hunter seeker your own units, like anti or something. Yeah, and just kill everything.
Hunter seeker your own units? What?
Yeah, you hunter seeker your own Banshee or whatever, and then fly it into the opposing army. And then that way you can stop the Banshee or whatever it is you Hunter-Seeker to make the Hunter-Seeker go off and the splash damage just hit everybody. Because Broodlords are really, really slow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're not running from that.
That's interesting. Wow. Okay. That's cool. That's that's a cool technique. All right. Why don't we do one ZVP here?
All
and
right.
why don't you pick the one that you feel like would be good to maybe have Mike. Maybe
Okay,
throw some ideas at Mike.
Let's see.
Because Mike, you feel pretty comfortable in ZVP right now, right? Or Spanishiwa. I keep calling you guys by Mike is Spanishiwa, guys. Joe is JEcho. Sorry, guys, if
Okay, let's do the one with Optic Valor.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with all-ins, but late game, I'm still a little confused. Sometimes I just crush the army, sometimes I don't. But it's probably army positioning. I had a big problem with that in ZVT
Yeah,
as well.
I hate that.
Sometimes the vortex lands, sometimes it doesn't. That's probably what it means.
Be serious. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's also surprisingly army compositions. I used to think like, hey, Broodlord Infestor, like how hard is that? You build some Broodlords, you build some Infestors. But like, it gets more complicated. Like if they have Colossus, you're supposed to have like 6 to 8 Corruptors, and if they have like pure Blinkstalker Colossus, it's better to have less Broodlords. It's just
sometimes, and like even the throwaway units are kind of like, it's good to have some roaches, some not just purelings sometimes.
Just build Broodlord Infestor, because like some Protoss ground armies actually counter that, so you'd be surprised, depending on the ratio.
All right, let's do 3 minutes again.
All right.
All right. So what do you guys think about mass spines in this matchup now? Because I'm starting to see it more and more from folks like obviously like Suppy and others too. Like especially when it comes to like very hive-centric strategies.
I think sometimes, depending on how the game opens up, you definitely are going to need them, because there's no doubt there's that window where you don't have hive units and he does have Colossus. Like his Colossus just come out too fast, compared to Broodlords, or come out faster than Broodlords.
Right. So
you need something to give you that extra push so that you can live until your Broodlords come out. But on this map in particular, I hate them. Like, you literally, to guard your 4 bases, there's 3 spots that you need to put spines. And because of like the way that the high ground is behind the 4th, it's like, it's so aggravating, because you spine that up and he can walk behind and you can't mine the base now. If you don't spine below the 3rd, he just walks around. Like, a lot of Protoss see spine crawlers and they're like, hey, you got static defense there? I guess that's where I'm supposed to attack. And I'm like, well, thanks, but if you just walked around, the 10 seconds, I would have had nothing. I don't understand. I'm not going to tell you that, because I'd love for you to come straight into the spines, but if I was a Protoss player, I'd be like, hey, spines?
Right.
Yeah, maybe I'll just go around. Because if he, literally spent 3 to 4K minerals on 30 spines, which when you're spreading them across 3 places, it's only 10 spines in each spot, that's a lot of money. Not counting, making the drones and stuff, so.
Hey, Joe, your camera's frozen.
Oh.
So you got this. The chat's having a ball, like, like, man, he's talking through osmosis.
I don't really think spines are supposed to be the counter the push, but that's just me.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I don't know how. I've been watching a lot of Stefano, but he Roach, Ling, Infestor, sometimes Corruptor. He kills everything with that. Like he's like, oh, you've got Colossus. Okay, that's cool. I'll kill them now. But for everyone else, it just doesn't seem to happen.
It's because his control is top, and you know what I mean. It's like his Lings and his Roaches never get free. I mean, those Colossi never get free hits on those Lings and Roaches.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's his control. What I always feel like it is that Protoss are like, oh my god, I'm playing Stefano, and then their force fields are just crap. Because it's like, if you hit your force fields, then it doesn't matter if they're Stefano Ling Roaches or my Ling Roaches. They don't go through force fields.
Yeah, but he bait. I mean, I'm not comparing you guys, but I just know when I watch him play, he baits force fields. He doesn't just like send them in and get like half his army caught in a force field. You know what I mean? And then can't run away, can't engage, and be in that kind of scenario. He does sometimes, and that's why he loses those games. But for the most part, he doesn't get caught in those situations, and he doesn't just send his Corruptors and his Roachling Infestors all at once either. You know what I mean? He's very distinct about like reducing Colossi count before Roachlings go in, or you know, using it. Just he's very selective about how he engages the army, and that's the difference. That's the difference between losing twice as much, you know, I mean, winning a battle and losing a battle badly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's funny. But yeah, the Spines, I mean, it's definitely a different different styles. That's why these matchups are so great now, I think. You know, ZVP and ZVT is just because there's so many different styles you can play. And be successful. Okay, let's start this up.
Okay.
3, 2,
All right.
1, go. Alright.
Okay. So as far as what I plan to do, it's basically it's basically what Stefano does, fast 3 base, hoping to have 3 to 4 gases, and I actually have been not making the macro patch as early because that 930 immortal push like hits just before you're able to start producing units if you follow Stefano's build to a T.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been scaling that back because it's really, really annoying dying to the same all-in like over and over. I just hate it so much because on the Protoss side I feel like they're just sitting there like, alright, so Chrono boost the Nexus, and I'm going to go get a sandwich, I'll be right back. And then, okay, 2 immortals, let's go. And then hit your force fields and you win the game.
It's usually 2 or is it 3?
The really, really fast push is a 2 immortal rally and a warp prism, so there's no why don't you pick off the pylons, and because the pylon is flying and you can't hit it.
Yeah.
So,
so what do you mean by scaling it back then? I don't know following you then.
Sorry, say that again?
What do you mean by scaling back then? Just you mean scaling back the droning?
Oh, like, yeah, getting a couple less drones and not getting the macro patch as early. That way, if he does come for that push, I've started producing units sooner and I can actually survive. And if he does something else, then it's not like I completely screwed myself because I'm just out a couple drones and my macro patch is a little bit late.
Got it.
But like I've been studying this matchup really, really hard, going over replays to figure out exactly what the best way is the order to pop your queens out, which hash do you pop them out of, do you creep tumor, do you inject, and a lot of stuff was not working. But I think what I'm doing now is working out okay. So it's, I mean, all I've done so far, apart from make lots of drones, I've got my 1 Overlord positioned to watch his forge/natural area, and then a 2nd Overlord ready to sack at, I found out you're supposed to sack it at 7 minutes.
I'd say a little sooner, 6:45.
6:45, okay, yeah, I think that's actually when I get it moving. Yeah, because prior I was under the assumption, like, I was not sacking Overlords. I was like, whatever, you just, Roachling is the answer to everything, so I'll just start doing that. But then you start getting people who, you know, do DT rushes and things like that, and it's really, really hard to blindly block everything that could possibly happen every time, so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotta take some chances.
Yeah, he's got that pylon, and Protoss do this, it's so annoying. He's got that pylon out in front, you know, so that he can put his gateways down or whatever, but it doesn't actually mean anything. If I didn't Overlord Scout, he could still just 2-base all in me and like, hi, I tricked you with my pylon.
Right.
So, I actually, like, I go in, I see a Robo and a Stargate, and this is kind of different, because seeing Robo and Stargate at the same time, I'm just kind of thinking, well, you know, he can't attack me for a very long time, because he should have, like, no gateways, and I can see that the additional gateways just going down now. So usually when I see Phoenix, even with Stefano, I'm not 100% sure why he does this. Sometimes he drops no spores in a base, even after he scouts the Stargate, and then when the Phoenix come and start picking crap up, he's like, oh no, there's Phoenix, and then he starts building spores, and I never understand why he doesn't just get them initially, but it looks like I actually did that this game. My natural, I forgot to build the spores. Now, I'm kind of not as strict as against Darren, but I have the same kind of motto against Protoss, where it's like, okay, well, don't attack him until you're on tier 3. You can obviously do Ling run-bys, because they need to leave units at home or cannons or something. So I did make a bunch of Zerglings right here, and I think that was because I saw Robo and Phoenix, so I'm thinking, okay, he should have a really, really low gateway unit count, and I can potentially just get in there and maybe deny the third or pick off some sentries or something. And I'm not really sure how you're supposed to play this out. And by that I mean in the case where obviously I saw Stargate and Robo, I know he's not 2-base all in. Like whatever, if it was, it would have been horrible. So I skip Roaches because I want to get to Hive Tech as fast as possible. But Stefano goes Roaches every time, and his Hive units still seem to come out in time. Like, it really confuses me.
I mean, aren't you supposed to always build Roaches?
That's what I thought, but then...
I think you're always supposed to have at least 8, or 8 or 10. Because even if, like, I think Roachling is just better than Pureling.
Yeah, Pureling.
Yeah. I mean, not too many, but just like 10.
Like you would have been able to do a lot of damage at his third on that attack if you had some Roaches, I think.
Yeah, well, the only thing is, at that point, the Roaches would not have had speed, so it's really likely he would have saw them with the Phoenix or with the Observer, and even just a single Immortal popping out would say no to that.
I mean, more like in late game, like Broodlord and Fester. Just having 10 Roaches actually helps yes a lot.
Yeah.
For like holding out the timing push.
Yeah. So I felt like I thought I had an advantage from when I scouted initially and was able to not build any units. But then after I made those lings and tried to do damage at his third and didn't really accomplish anything, I felt like we were back to being pretty much even at this point. But like I said, I'm like trying to rush up my Hive as fast as possible because I have not been having much success with holding at a spine crawler wall.
Just let me kill probes here.
Yeah.
I think the spine crawlers are just there so that you don't lose the infestors. Because the reason why you can't attack Protoss is because you lose the infestors. But because you're going to lose the first engagement, that's just how it is. But you're supposed to have enough macro hatches that when you remax, that you killed all the sentries, so that you can clean up the army. But if you don't have the spines, then you lose the infestors and you lose the game because infestors are good.
Infestors are the most important unit. Transitioning into late game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure an 11-minute Hive is really, really, really quick.
Yeah, it's
so risky though, man.
Well, I don't even think it's risky. That's the thing, because as in terms of money investment, it's not a lot at all. Like the Hive is 200, 150. It's like one infestor, and that's it. So if I was to die teching Hive, I wouldn't blame it on missing one single infestor. I definitely messed up somewhere else. And I am dropping a second macro hatch because I have been watching Suppy, and this dude will have 3 macro hatches in his main so that he can remax on pure speedlings.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, so he's doing that. Well, he's being annoying now. He's up on the high ground, so I can't really tell if I can fight him. I'm trying to sack lings to try to get a better idea of what his army looks like.
Yeah.
And then he walks behind, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah. You're supposed to just, like, when your lair is done, just get an Overlord above the 4th on that high ground where he's at right now, and then you that's where you build the spines. You don't put it on the low ground.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Infestors.
Yeah, so I don't really know what I was doing here because I had Broodlords morphing. Sometimes Protoss just annoys me enough that I'm like, alright, here I come, hopefully it works. And as soon as this happens, I'm kind of just kicking myself. I'm like, oh my god, why did I do that?
I mean, if your Corruptors would have been there, like, it might have been a lot better too. This
is one of the situations I was talking about where, like, you'd think, hey, I went fast Broodlord, I need Broodlords, but I wouldn't have actually morphed any Broodlords.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Link Corruptor probably could have just done it. Even though he killed my 4th, at this point I'm thinking, if he doesn't have a 4th, I'm still okay, because on 3 base, if I've got Broodlords, I'm going to be okay. That and this guy was really bad about pulling his probes, so every time I saw Link went by, I just killed, like, every probe. I just put my Lings on full position and kill every worker in the 3rd.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know his economy is not good at all at this point.
Yeah, but that push, like you know, like you guys were saying, I mean, is all about not morphing the brood lords. You know, you know, you see all the good Zergs. They're prepared for this timing now, and the biggest difference is they don't morph it anymore. They just keep the corruptors, build Roachling and Infestor.
Yeah. When you clear the Colossus count, then you just have like a bunch of hurt broodlord or corruptors, and that's when you do it.
And that's when your Lings and Roaches and Infestors just own shit. You know, like, so that yeah, exactly. That's kind of how that's the adjustment the Zergs have made.
Yeah, I definitely need to give that a shot then.
Oh, I get a freak Colossus right there. You get. Oh, so close.
Yeah, I'm feeling really okay at this point because I have, I've got broodlords. I've got a growing broodlord army, so I know I don't think I'm going to die. And again, I've already done 2 run-bys on his 3rd and killed a lot of workers, so his economy is definitely not in a great spot either.
It's not bad. It's still going to come down to a mothership engagement, I feel like.
Yeah. There's a lot of it's not that simple though, because there are engaging products when they have a mothership, but it's a lot scarier when behind that mothership they've got 30, 40 warp gates, 2 extra bases loaded with cannons and Templars with storms and DT tech and Archons, because then those 30 warp gates are like, all right, what kind of army do I want to put together? Whereas because this guy's 4th is so late, and I've already gutted his 3rd twice, I'm thinking to myself, if he gets a mothership, he's got 1 shot at it. Like, he'll have his Blinkstalker army, and I know he's hurting because he's even got Zealots in the army, which at this point is like, I don't even know what they're there for.
Yeah, they're worthless. Yeah.
So I know his army's definitely not as good as it could be, and I only have to take it down 1 time. And then same thing.
Here we go, the whole position legs again. Yeah. in the probe line again.
So that's the 3rd time, and I mean, I killed like something like 15 probes every time I did that, and it just kept working. So this is my plan. Is I know his economy's not great at home. I'm just gonna keep morphing broodlords, and every single time he moves out, I'm gonna backstab him with Lings to make sure that when we fight, if I win that fight, he's done. If he wins that fight, hopefully I can put it together enough to stop him, because he should not be reinforcing with anything. Yeah,
the Lings are totally delay tactic for you to morph and get all your broodlords and all your ducks in a row kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, a good sign is especially he doesn't have +3 weapons, or at least not yet, which 20 minutes in he definitely should have it. So there's his 4th, and that's not going to live again. I mean, if he repeatedly turns around over and over and over, eventually I'm just going to have like 20-something broodlords.
Right.
And then he's not going to be able to kill me because he's still got Zealots in his army for some reason.
Oh, here we go. Oh, his mothership's lagging behind though. You're kind of clumped a little though.
Mothership.
But you got a lot of broodlings off already, which is huge.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad, I think, at splitting broodlords. Like, you know that you need to do it, but there's no worse feeling than seeing the mothership approach and then being like, all right, I'm going to grab my broodlords and try to split them, because they are so painfully slow that, like, oh, they're actually the same speed as the mothership. It's like, it's like a really slow game of tag where you know he's trying to come and cast the vortex somewhere, and you're just like, please don't let it get everybody. Because I've had too many games where I'm way ahead, and then, oops, all my broodlords are gone, and now I'm dead.
So do you not get neural?
Normally I would, but I wasn't. I don't feel like my economy was that great. Funny enough, I could actually afford it, but usually I only get neural when I have like 10 or 15 infestors.
Yeah.
I don't think I had that many. I feel like I had maybe 4 or something. Because again, because I backstabbed him so many times, and I know he's on, being generous, maybe a 2.5 base economy. Just having a lot of broodlords, I feel like, is a straight up way to just fight him and kill stuff. I don't need to rely on good fungals or have any bad fungals. Just fight him straight up, and I have money to put something else together, and he should not.
Yeah.
Like, even at this point, I have enough broodlords where I'm confident that I can just take all my Lings and counter with just fight him with the broodlords.
I think your army composition could have been a bit better. In the first fight, you only had 4 corruptors, And whenever they have the Colossus, definitely want like 6 to 8. Because
the very first fight where he got behind my fort?
No, or the second fight, sorry. The one right before this one. Because I was trying like just build more Broodlord. I figured, well, if his main thing is Vortex, then I'll just have so many Broodlords that he can't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I found out even with like 26, 30 Broodlords, the Stalker Colossus army will just beat it because
E-Vortex half, whatever.
Well,
no, it's
the Broodlings just die instantly.
Oh yeah.
They die instantly, and they don't get the surface area you think they do, like on all the Stalkers. So they die.
It's basically like the Broodlord's main attack, and that's actually not that great.
No, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I have had people tell me mix in Corruptors because you can kill the Mothership, you can kill the Colossus, and it's the Colossus that are killing all the Broodlings.
Yeah.
But I always seem to mix in Corruptors, and then he blinks under, and I have half as many Broodlords because half of them are Corruptors. He just blinks under and kills them, and then I'm like, oh.
Well, I think you only want around 10, and then people build more just because during the fight some are going to die, so they build like 15 or 16, but I think like 10 is when it starts becoming to the point where you don't want any more Broodlords. So like you'd build up to 15 or 16, but then you'd stop.
Yeah, because 10's enough to, what, two-shot Colossi if you corrupt them?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is that right?
Well,
yeah.
It's just like the number of Broodlings on the screen is like, is it going to make a difference if there's like 50 versus
yeah,
like...
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
That's true.
I've been more comfortable with doing what you said, which is making so many Broodlords that it's just Broodlords covering your Broodlords. Like no Link support, no Roach support, because then if he tries to blink in, that's when blinking in is suicide. When you have that many Broodlords, and it does take a really long time, especially since with just a handful of infestors, if you land one or two or three decent fungals, 30 Broodlords will shred like unlimited Stalkers, especially if you turn the tides on that first battle. You don't really have to worry about the Colossus because there's nothing for them to shoot at. But I think, I don't know how I guess it kind of transitioned, because I watched Stefano and I had it in my head, you don't want any Roaches or any Zerglings or anything like that. And he'll fight you with Roach Link and then go home and then make like 8 Broodlords and then come back and kill you with 8 Broodlords and a ton of Roach Link.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's right.
I mean, you can't really like overmake Roachling, because if you have too many, you just like send out a few to harass a third or something, and maybe they do damage, maybe not, and you free up like a bunch of supply.
Yeah, I mean the Roaches too. Obviously, if you have enough Broodlings and Lings to again surround the ball, I mean obviously the range gives you, it gives you added DPS that you don't have with just pure melee units, right?
Okay.
Because it's always clumped, right? So, and again, it's about surface area, so it's a minor detail, but I think it does make a difference just having those Roaches.
Let me just ask, if I'm like we've gotten past the stage where he's 2-base all-inning me. I've seen him take his third, and like in this game again, because I scouted that Stargate Robo, I kind of assumed it was going to be a third. I have the option to do whatever I want. If I want Roaches, I can make them. If I don't want them, I should skip them. You think it's best to go just a handful of Roaches and then like Infestor and Spire, so I can get the Corruptors if he goes Colossus, and then I think after that?
Your early game, it seemed a little weird because you didn't have that many drones. I don't really know why, if it was like you took damage or something. But like especially this game, because you just didn't build any Roaches. If you're not going to build any Roaches, what a lot of people do is they only build drones basically, because they're like, let's say you're assuming it's not an all-in that you would need Roaches to defend, right? Because this game didn't build any.
Yeah.
So for all those all-ins, you could defend them all if you just only built drones and went for an infestation pit, and then like if it was Sentry Immortal or whatever all-in, you just build like 9 spines, and then like 6 more at your natural, and then you're pretty much safe. Versus like I say Sentry Immortal because in my opinion, that's like the strongest 2-base
definitely.
You would need like Roach.
Yeah.
So
this
that transition
game,
was better.
Yeah, this game was a little tricky because he opened Stargate Robo, so
Yeah,
the
that's
he did
definitely
lose drones to that. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons he was under there.
especially against Stargate. I would just. I mean, it looks like you're not building enough drones.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's because I opened 2 creep tumors where I almost feel like creep is not worth it against Protoss. Like giving up, or at least giving up early creep tumors. But again, it's because I hate this map so much, especially the immortal pushes. It's like they just seem unstoppable if you don't have creep, especially in the third base where you need to spread the creep in 2 completely different directions.
Well, I think if you're doing roachling against immortal, I mean, I've had success with that too, but mostly just because I counterattack. But I think Spine's a lot more of a direct counter because you can't force field Spines. And then they build up.
I mean, that's what I must just be bad against Protoss, because I think that too. I'm like, oh, they can't force field Spines. And then he puts force fields on the Spines. Now my units can't run by the Spines, and then the Immortals walk forward and kill the Spines.
I mean, you shouldn't have any units if you're doing that.
Oh, okay. So it's just it's a lot of Spines then.
Because it's like 10 Spines, and then by the time it takes them, because they'll need like 1 or 2 more warpins. By the time they have that, you already have the infestors. And then if they are going to break through, you just pull the Spines from the natural.
Yeah, I mean, literally all you're doing is fungling and just watching Spines, kill, and then whatever that last round of Ling's Roach will come in.
This is against a 2 base Robo attack.
Yeah, like a 9:30, 10 minute.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I need to learn how you do that then, because what I've been thinking is that you cannot have any, like, I'm going to say tier 2, so no infestors, no hydras, no mutas. None of them will come out in time to stop, whether it be a blink all in or a robo all in, any of the fast versions, or obviously not for a 6 or a 7 gig or whatever. But if there's a way to do that, then yeah, I need to figure out how.
Well,
you
like
skip
Sentry blink all in, I don't think you could do it because blink.
It's too fast, right? You can just go around.
Well, yeah, I'm just scared of them just blinking past. So that's why I never try it versus that. But Sentry Immortal, I think it's the strongest way, because they can just choose not to attack and take a third, but you have.
But then they're really behind, right?
Yeah, and you just tech the Broodlord from there.
Yeah, you can imagine it, Joe. I mean, it's just like you don't build anything, like except for
that,
minimal,
I have
defense.
Seen Stuffy do that. I just had no idea how you manage that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not like 10 Spines. It's like
it's like 9.
Is it 9 by the time? I feel like it's like
going down as much as you can afford.
I feel like it's like 6. I mean, it's like 8 or something like that, because I don't know if you can get 10.
I guess with two Immortal you could get away with less, but if they have 3, you definitely need.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is skipping the Roach Horn altogether.
I still get it.
I don't think you ever skip it. Yeah, you pretty much always have to have it precautionary. I think reasons.
I guess like my mindset of the matchup is so poor. Like I've literally been looking for every single corner I could cut, because sometimes I feel like, hey, if I save that drone and 150 minerals on the Roach Warren, then I wouldn't have lost. Which is why this game I did not make any roaches, because I'm like, okay, every roach is 25 gas. The roach speed is 100 gas. That's like going to delay my hive by like a minute. Or cost me 2
you have the replay still open, but like if you just go back to the engages, you can
I could have fought him. I think you're right. If I had the corruptors out. The other thing is some people do like they don't make Colossus, so I don't know if you're supposed to get in there and scout them, because if you make corruptors and he is on like a 10 gate, like a lot of blink stalkers with the Immortals, then obviously corruptors are not going to help you at all.
Yeah.
Usually if it's like Sentry Immortal, you just have to play really safe, get a lot of Spines, no drones, and then just get like 3 Broodlords out, and you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, because you can sit on them.
If it's like Stalker, Colossus, if they have any Colossus, you just need Corruptor, just like 6 to 8, and then just do pure Roachling Infester, and like either they're going to attack, and then you just kill them, or they'll take a 4th, and then you take a 5th and a 6th, and it's just a macro game from there. But it's just knowing what unit composition to get, basically.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. I mean, I think that was really, really cool. The replays there, and hopefully you guys kind of took something from it. But viewers, we're going to be doing some Q&A now, and the way we do Q&A on the show is we have you guys call in. We're going to have to set these these screens up again on my other overlay. But go ahead and add me on Skype. My ID is ChanmanV, and I'll pull you into the call once you start adding me. But in the meantime, this is your last chance to win this Razer Abyssus mouse. And the way we're doing it, guys, is you need to tweet me at twitter.com/ChanmanV or message me on Facebook, facebook.com/ChanmanTV. A good nickname for either Spanishiwa or JEcho. Been getting some good ones, so you're going to come up with some good ones and send them over before we do the drawing, which will be right after this Q&A here. All right, let's see who we got. Let me add some. Okay, we got Rick Harrison. Let me switch over to this. I'll fix the windows in a second. Rick's a regular watcher, so should have a good question. Rick, hey, you there?
Hello? Hello?
Hey, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, welcome to Pro Corner again, buddy.
Hey, so I have a question about kind of the third timings in ZBT. So, JEcho, this is Detour, by the way. So one of our lessons, I remember we were working on taking the third around like 6:30, and after watching your guys' replays now, I'm kind of curious as to the timings of the drones, the fifth queen, and the third. So, like right now, the first inject pops, and I think you're at like 36 supply. So, right then, you kind of have a choice. You can make 8 drones, you can take the third, or you can make the fifth queen. So, what order would you do that in?
I make the drones first, and then the third, and then the fifth queen. I'm never in a rush for the fifth or the sixth queen.
Okay.
And yeah, I have switched up the third timing because basically, again, now that queens have that extra range, you can get a little bit greedier. So I'm being greedier than I was pre-patch. So that's why the third is coming after the 4 queens. But on a map like Antigua, some turns will walk over, build that bunker like outside of the natural and outside of the third, so you can't take the base. In which case, I just 3 gas instead of 2, and then take the base a little bit later.
Okay, cool. So basically then, like, so you make those drones, so you'll be at like 42 to 44, and then you take the third right then?
No, okay, no, wait. Right now, if the turn does not interfere, I